cry when I eat certain foods that make me really happy. You can only imagine when I'm pregnant one day what that's gonna be like when someone opens the door for me.
The OHP Uncut Podcast with Kannon.
How are you, Becky G?
I'm so good, thank you.
It is an honor to have you here. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to like the video and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, that is how you can win a virtual meet and greet with your favorite artist, which we would love to do with Becky G here in the coming weeks. That'd be amazing. Where are you, Becky?
I am in Miami right now.
So that's not like a corner of your living room. You don't generally have your house decked out in Becky G gear?
I will say this. I feel like my grandma loves to collect things of mine that I wouldn't be surprised if I took this home and it ended up somewhere in my grandma's living room. So it's not a far reach that it could potentially be somewhere like personal of mine. But yes, no, we're on an actual set right now.
Are you wearing your makeup today? I'm curious about that.
Oh, honey, I'm always wearing tres luces. Best believe it.
I love it. What would you say is like the most common, this is a random question I had no idea I was going to ask, but what would you say is like the most common mistake ladies make when applying their makeup? When you see them in public, you're like, oh no, girl, you did this wrong. What's the main thing people do wrong?
I think there's a couple things, but they're never intentional. Like for me, lighting is so crucial because if I do my makeup in the wrong lighting, I can be a little heavy-handed on some things that when I go out into natural daylight, it's like, oh, whoa, we should have blended that crease out a little bit more. Or that foundation color in the summer is not the one because it's like 5 shades lighter than what my actual skin tone is. So those little things tend to happen, you know, every now and then, I think, to a lot of us. Or just like maybe a thing that I wish I learned when I was younger was like if I'm gonna go really if I'm gonna go in on color on the lips, then maybe I go a little easy on the eyes. Or if I'm gonna go big on the eyes, go a little easy on the lips. I don't want to do both because then it looks like a little much, you know?
What about like colors for summertime? Like what are some good colors for the summer of 22?
I love colors. Actually, the first Tres Luces palette that we ever launched was called the I Am palette. And it's like the perfect combo of neutral tones that you need to accomplish like a simple look. But then there's some bright colors in there that just like, you want to just give it a little pop of something. You just use that palette and it's great.
How long have you been working on the album till now?
This album, I want to say it's been like since like the beginning of the pandemic, to be honest, was like when I had like my first real like writing camp, I guess you could say. But it wasn't even like an official writing camp for an album. Like it was just me. I got a house in LA and just hung out with my friends. And it was me, my friend Elena, who's an amazing writer, Queen V, who's an amazing producer, and then another writer named Pikani. And it was literally us four, like crisscross applesauce, like around the fire pit type of feel. Just like, it was a very cathartic experience because I think we were all kind of triggered from the pandemic. Like whether things happened during the pandemic or things were happening leading up to it and you finally had time to process and think about it. I mean, that's what my experience was. So it's been, I think since then that it's been like an ongoing like evolution and a body of work that feels so representative of like the artist and the young woman that I am today.
How much did the music change from the beginning to the end of the pandemic? I can only imagine maybe the songs got happier as the album progressed, or I'm not a writer, I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there was, there's a batch of like, I mean, to be honest, I'm just an emotional person. And so I think throughout all of the songs, there's like parts of me that you can really hear in the vocal presentation as well, the confidence in my vulnerability or in my moments of feeling empowered or my moments of feeling sexy and then my moments of feeling like soft and sweet. And so I would say it was pretty consistent throughout because I'm just an emotional wreck all the time.
I feel like I'm pretty emotional too. When's the last time that you had a good cry, Becky?
Oh, this morning.
Oh, why?
I mean, come on. Because it's good to let it out sometimes. Like I sometimes cry when I eat certain foods that make me really happy. Like I'm that kind of person. You can only imagine when I'm pregnant one day what that's going to be like when I when someone opens the door for me.
This is a fun conversation. All of these questions come into mind that I had no idea I would ask. And now I have to ask, what is the last food that made you cry?
The last food that made me cry, this is so funny. So my boyfriend Sebastian, who I've been with for almost 6 years now, he's like my best friend, and he knows how.
Congratulations on that relationship, by the way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, he's just like the love of my life. But he knows how much I love food. And one of his teammates, he's a professional soccer player in the MLS, and he lives in Boston at the moment, plays for the New England Revs. And one of his teammates, Omar, is like an amazing cook. And he also like bakes stuff. And so he made these fresh English muffins that I had with my breakfast. It was insane. Like I made it so perfectly. It was like a fried egg over medium with some bacon, a little bit of butter, and the homemade English muffin just took it over the top that I just couldn't take it. It just happened.
Now, when your boyfriend looks over and sees you sobbing over a muffin, does he, wonder if he should take it personal, or does he know you well enough to know that that's just a meaningful piece of food?
Definitely knows me well enough to know that, like, I'm just like his little squish, like I'm just his little bebe that just loves things so much that he's just like, it's another day. It's another day in the office for him when it comes to my tears.
I can't wait to hear the whole album front to back. Before we go, do you mind if we do 5 random ass questions with you?
Yeah, let's go.
5 random ass questions with Becky G. Number 5. What is the first app you go to in the morning?
First app that I go to in the morning is my messages. I'm usually in my messages either catching up with stuff that I got while I was asleep, or sending something that's on my mind before someone else wakes up.
Yo, everyone's trying to get me to play Wordle. Have you played Wordle?
I have not gotten to the Wordle thing. I'm a little too sensitive to not be good at things. So I feel like if I, I just don't even want to go there. I would feel really bad about myself.
Why are you crying, Becky? Because I suck at Wordle.
Yeah.
What's your go-to cocktail?
Go-to cocktail, tequila on the rocks.
Ooh, favorite tequila.
Yeah. I started off as a Patron Silver girl, and it never does me wrong. It's just like I know it front and back. It makes me happy, tequila.
It's a special kind of buzz. I enjoy it as well. Becky, are you a get mad, get even, or let it go kind of girl?
Ooh, I am a let go and let God. I literally have it tatted on me, let go and let God. I am not one to like confrontation or anything, so I just love to trust the process and let karma do its job.
Becky, what's the last song, not of your own, that you turned up really loud?
Oh my God, this is so funny. Banana Boat, the 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot fine. They like, oh man, we won't go. I don't know why I was listening to that this morning, but it was like full volume and it made me so happy. I was like dancing around the room with my coffee.
Because it's almost summertime, girl. Come on. Is there anything better than that smell of that coconut banana boat, by the way? I think not. Last question, and this one, I get such a range of answers. I can't wait to see how you approach this. If you could go to dinner or spend one night with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
Winnie the Pooh.
Shut up.
Yeah, oh my God, since I was a little girl, I've always loved Winnie the Pooh. There's a rumbly in my tumbly. He has one of the best quotes ever. You know what he says?
Was it like, there's too much day today?
Oh yes, it's my favorite day. Yes, he says today because it's my favorite day. And I love that because, yesterday is the past and tomorrow is the future. And that also there's another quote of like, if you're living in the future, that's why you have anxiety. If you're living in the past, that's why you feel the cloud of depression. It's like being present is where it's at because it's a gift. And so it's like this other way of Winnie the Pooh putting that sentiment into a Winnie the Pooh way of thinking that is just so untainted by like all these like preconceived notions that are put into our brains when we're adulting.
That's part of the beauty of Winnie the Pooh. And I will let you know before we go that you are the second person to give me that answer. Sweetie also said she wanted to spend the night with Winnie the Pooh.
You're lying.
Swear to God.
No, Ken, it was Lotto.
Lotto.
Oh, it was Lotto.
Oh my God. That's
my
so
producer set me straight.
Amazing. Well then, yeah, it's a sleepover.
And I think it was because she wanted a good cuddle. Wasn't that what it was, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just so like in tune with his feelings, and I appreciate people like that, because people today just don't feel anything at all. They're just some cold-hearted mofos that, you know, keep it moving, and I'm like, I wish I could have that attitude, but I don't.
Well, thank you for your emotion and your time and your energy and your music, of course. I'll be respectful of everyone else waiting to do interviews with you and let you go, but it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to play your song right now.
Same here. Thank you.
The OHP Uncut Podcast with Kannon.